So somebody else would like to come? Maybe one of the Matajis on your side. You want to do that? Yes, come, Nandini. Come right through.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prashaya Bhutale, Shrimate Dhamal Krishna, Goswaman Iti Namane Gurudev. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prashaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami, Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prasharane, Nirvishesha Shunyavani Pashatate Shtarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I was reflecting on a few things this morning. The first thing I was reflecting on is how Srila Prabhupada, he was so actually broad-minded. He was not dogmatic or sectarian. He was very broad-minded. And he encouraged householders to worship in their home. If you can't live in the temple, and in the beginning days, basically, everyone lived in the temple. And so that is the path of purification, to worship the deities that you have in your home with love and devotion. And Prabhupada said, this is very wonderful. So that was one realization I had as I woke very early this morning and bathed and dressed Srila Prabhupada. And my Giriraj, Gauri Sham, Gornitai, very, very purifying. It's mercy, really mercy. And the other thing I was reflecting on is Srila Prabhupada. He had many obstacles. He had many struggles just coming over. Before even coming over, he was on the streets distributing literatures. Very difficult, but very, very difficult, but he was totally dependent on his spiritual master. And he had such firm faith in Lord Chaitanya and Krishna. But it was challenging. And then when he came on the Jaladuta, he had not one but 2 heart attacks. But he survived, and he became 70 on that flight over, on that Jaladuta over. And then when he got to the States, he wound up in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he would cook in his little cooker for them, but there was meat in the refrigerator, and he tolerated so many inconveniences and difficulties, but he was totally transcendental. So then, in the US, he had also challenges. He was trying to find where to go and ended up in the Bowery, and he would have to step over drunkards, people tripping out on drugs, and ultimately all of his things were stolen. His typewriter books were stolen. So in a relative situation, we might say this is suffering. And there have been comments that yes, Prabhupada endured suffering, but he was such a pure, unalloyed devotee that this did not hinder him or stop him in any way. He continued to go forward, and as Nityananda said, chanted under the tree in Thompson Square Park alone, and that was the beginning of everything. then even before that, he became very ill again in the U.S. And Govinda Dasi, who is a dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and took care of him during that illness that he had. She got a place by the sea, and she wrote a book called Roses and Sandalwood. And if you've not read it, it's a beautiful, beautiful little book. And she said that when Prabhupada, emanated this sandalwood scent that just permeated the whole place, and then she would go and pick roses and put roses everywhere in Prabhupada's quarters to help him convalesce during that illness that he endured. And so I know a little bit about suffering, and I'm not a transcendental pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, but I can honestly say that the suffering or the challenges that I'm enduring right now have brought me so much closer to Krishna. So much deepening my internal spiritual life. And so Nityananda reflected when he spoke today about how as we get older, we can understand that death is coming at any moment. And not only as we get older. I remember in San Francisco during the Rath Yatra, it was in the 80s, and this young man came on his bicycle, and he saw Jagannath, and I remember speaking to him, and then he drove away, and he was killed instantly by a car, young man. So we think, okay, we're older, or we're infirmed, or we're ill, and in that way, death is death. It certainly is a sign that death is close, but we can never know. And so therefore, Prabhupada gave us the greatest gift of the blessing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to take shelter of the holy name, chant the holy name, deepen your spiritual life, go within, and take the association of devotees. That was what Prabhupada created. None of this would be here if it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
So anybody else?